Hello, good morning everybody. My name is Wan Nabila binti Wan Muhammad Yazid, metric number A19A0976. So today I will explain about introduction, which is statistics is a branch of mathematics used to summarize, analyze and interpret a group of numbers and observations. It is the practice or science of collecting and analyzing numerical data in large quantities, especially for infer proportions in a world from those in a representative sample. In the statistic, we can divide variable into two types with qualitative variable and a quantitative variable. The qualitative variable is non-numerical variable and cannot be measured by number and cannot do things like add, subtract, multiply and divide to get a meaningful result. There are two types of quantitative variable, which is discrete and continuous. Discrete is when the variable takes on a countable number of values. More often, this variable indeed represent some kind of count, such as the number of perceptions an individual take daily. For the continuous is when the variable can take on any value in some range of value. We choose this data to be our topic are the commodity unload by types and ports Malaysia 2017 Frick Week Tone. We look at the freight rate on the port and the types of goods that are shipping. There are so many items categorized by. We only analyze a few for learning purpose. Grossly packaged goods at the port are common goods in Malaysia. The standard procedure performed at the port is the activities of receiving, storing, shipping, and consolidating goods. The analysis method have done such as frequency distribution, relative frequency distribution, cumulative frequency distribution, graphical method and measure of center tendency, measure of variation, measure of position, the shape of data distribution. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Faris bin Mamano. My metric number is A19A0341. Okay, I will explain about my part, which is data arrangement and graphical method. This is data from commodities unloaded by type and ports Malaysia 2017. Okay, we have three types, which is palm oil, grains and chemical. From January until December. Okay, next, we must find frequency distribution, relative frequency, and cumulative frequency distribution. Okay, first, we must find frequency distribution. Okay, step 1, decide on the number of classes. Okay, so the formula is 2k greater than n. So the k is 6 and the n is 36. Okay, so the answer is 64, which is greater than 36. We choose the number of classes is 6. Okay, step 2 is determine the class interval or width. So the formula is class width equal to maximum entry minus minimum entry divided by number of classes. So we take from the data, maximum entry is 200 at T and minimum entry is 24. So the number of classes is 6. The answer is 42.7. We run out to 43. Okay, step 3 is set the individual class limits. The minimum data entry is convenient lower limit for the first class. To find the lower limits of the remaining 6 classes, add the class width of 43 to the lower limits of the previous class. So, the upper limit of the first class is 66, which is 1 less than the lower limit of the second class. The upper limits of the other classes are 66 plus 43 equal to 109, and then 109 plus 43 equal to 152, and so on. Okay, step 4. Make a tally mark for each data entry in the appropriate class. So the step 5, the number of tally mark for a class is the frequency for that class. Okay, I will show the table construction of frequency distribution, relative frequency, cumulative frequency distribution, and midpoint in the next slide. So I will explain the define for the relative frequency is the portion of, or this is the portion or percentage of data that fall in that class. To find the relative frequency of a class, divide the frequency by the sample size. Okay, next define for the cumulative frequency. Also can define as the sum of all previous frequency and the current point. The last class of cumulative frequency and frequency are same. So cumulative frequency of the class equal to simple size. Okay, for this table, show the frequency distribution, relative frequency, and cumulative frequency distribution. Other than the table show the class intervals, tally, and sum of total frequency, which is 36 for total. Okay, so beside that, we'll also present the midpoints, which is x. Okay. Okay. Next, graphical method. Our group members choose two graphical method, which is frequency, polygon, and OGIF. Okay, for the first one is frequency polygon. Frequency polygons means a line graph that emphasizes that the continuous change in frequency. Below show the table and graph that represent frequency polygon. Graph 1 shows the frequency polygon graph illustrates that the midpoint is at 25, where the frequency was at 0, and the highest midpoint is 26, where the frequency is at 1. Second is OGIF. Okay, OGIF graph is a line graph that displays the cumulative frequency of each class at its upper class boundaries. So the table 2 below show the data set of an OGIF for the frequency distribution, and graph 2 represent the OGIF graph for the next slide. The graph show the OGIF graph. So the graph starts at 23.5, where the cumulative frequency is 0, and the graph ends at 281.5, where the cumulative is 36. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti Zulaikha Amirah binti Muhammad Zulkifli, and my matric number is A19E0892. Today I will present about measure of central tendency of commodities unloaded by types and ports, Malaysia 2017. A measure of central tendency is a value that represents the center of a distribution. Three mostly commonly used measures of tendency for ungrouped and grouped data are mean, median, and mode. Mean is sum of data entries divided by the number of the entries. Median is the value that lies in the middle of the data when the data set is ordered. Mode is the data entry that occurs with the greatest frequency. How to calculate mean is determine the location of the median class, and step 2 is determine the lower class boundary. Step 3 determine class size, and step 4 determine sum of frequency. Step 5 calculate the median. How to search mode is find the highest frequency from the data, and the highest frequency is 13. Step 2 determine the lower class boundary, that is 24 subtract 0.5 equal 23.5. Step 3 determine class size, that is 109.5 subtract 66.5 equal 43. And step 4 determine A1 and A2, that is 13 subtract 5 equal 8, and mode is 13. Therefore, the mode class is 67 to 109. So, the mean for commodities unloaded by type and port Malaysia 2017 are 115.3, and the median for commodities unloaded by type and port Malaysia 217 are 78.08, and mode for commodities unloaded by type and ports Malaysia 2017 are 52.70. That's all. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Nulisa Hafia binti Abdul Halil, and my metric number is A19A0594. Today, I would like to present my part, which is measure of variation. Variation is a way to show how the data is dispersed or spread out. Several measures of variation are used in statistics, such as range, variance, quartiles, and interquartile range. We talk about variability in the context of a distribution of values. A low dispersion indicates that the data points tend to be clustered tightly around the center. High dispersion significant that they tend to fall further away. Based on the data to find the amount of range, we had used formula which is maximum data entry minus minimum data entry. Maximum data entry from the data is 281 and the minimum data entry is 24. We will minus both number and the range is equal to 257. Next, I would like to explain about sample variance. Using the formula that had been taught by our lecturer, Dr. Tan, the sample variance for commodity unload by type and ports Malaysia 2017 are 2,814.4656. Lastly, for standard deviation, the formula is S equal to square root of S square. So, the standard deviation for commodities unloaded by types and ports Malaysia 2017 are 53.0515. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Muhammad Fakrul Hakim bin Muhammad Daud. My metric number is A19B0280. Today I would like to talk on the measure of position. Based on the table given, we have found the frequency and cumulative frequency. And now let's find the first quartile. To find the first quartile, we must find it in the 36 over 4th position, which is the 9th position in the class interval of 67 minus 109. Therefore, for the Q1, we have found it 79.83, while the second quartile is the 36 over 2 position, which is the 18 in the class interval, and the answer is 109.5. The third quartile is in the 27 in the class interval, and the answer is 152.5. Lastly, to find the interquartile range, Q3 must be minus to Q1, which is 152.5 minus 79.83 equal to 72.67. In the shape of distribution, we have found the mean is 119.055 and the median is 66.5 and the mode is 52.17. Therefore, the mean median mode is skewed to the right in the chart of distribution. On the other hand, the suitable method based on the data chosen is we have found in the scatter plot matrix, graph 1 slot is the grains against the palm. It is seen that the higher the level of grains, the higher the chemical unloaded. In the graph 2 plots chemical against palm, generally plots tends to unloaded chemical more than palm in the mid of the year. And lastly, the graph 3 plots grains against palm. The higher the level of grains, the lower the palm unloaded by plots. The R values between palm and chemical is 0.275, while the grains and chemical is 0.371. Thus, chemical is associated with grains and also palm, while the R values between palm and grains is 0.530, which is less than 0.85. Perhaps there is no problem of multicollinearity. The Shapiro-Wilk test of normality on the residual give a p-value of 0.028, which is less than 0.05. Thus, the assumption of normality of the residual terms is not met. While in the model summary, the R-square is 0.448, which means 44.8% of the variation in the chemical can be explained by all end grains. The adjusted R-square is 3.25%, and the Task-Watson statistic is 1.382. In the ANOVA table, the V value from the ANOVA table is less than 0.01, which means that at least one of the two variables, palm oil and grains, can be used model of chemical. While the coefficients table is a dependent variable chemical. The equation of chemical is 108.661 plus 0.959 is palm minus 0.565, which is grains. Thus, for every unit increase in the palm, chemical is expected to increase by 0.959, provided the other variables remain unchanged. Based on the standardized beta coefficients, the effect of palm 0.427 is almost 2 times that grains 0.229. The p-value for palm is 0.051. Thus, palm and grains are the significant predictors of the chemical. And lastly, in the coefficients collinearity statistic, the dependent variable is always chemical. The 95% of confidence interval for palm and grains are negative 0.006, 1.924 and negative 1.084 and negative 0.046. The VIF value is still the same, which is 1.391. Reader regression analysis using only palm and grains as independent variables. Thank you.
Lastly, conclusion. In conclusion, statistics play a very important role. It is aspect of life and needs to understand all the subject in which it is important as discussed above. The methods and ideas of statistics are so widely used nowadays that we can't imagine our life and different activities without statistics. Statistics is useful in every sphere of life and activities. Statistics is not a mere device for their collecting numerical data as a means of developing sound technique for their handling, analyzing, and drawing valid inference from them. This day, statistical methods are applicable everywhere. There is no field of work in which statistical methods are not applied. Statistics is a subject that deals with the collecting of data, can be management of data. Statistic techniques are used in a wide range of types of scientific and social research, including biostatistics, computational sociology, networking biology, social science, and science research. Statistics form a key basis tool in business and manufacturing as well. It is used to understand measurement system, variability, control process, or for summarizing data and to make data-driven decisions. In this, it is key tool and preferred the only reliable tool. That's all for me. Thank you.